It's championship time in Oxford, Mississippi, as your Oxford Chargers are in the 5A state title game against Wayne County this Saturday, 7 o'clock, Vaught Hemingway Stadium. And we'd like to welcome you into Rebel Watch, a special edition of the Oxford Chargers. I'm your host, Browning Stubbs, Madison Avon, Colin Cody, and Breck Jones. How we doing, guys?
Doing great.
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And guys,
come on, bro.
It's been a wonderful season for the Oxford Chargers. A lot of ups and downs, some close games, an ESPN game against Starkville. But Madison, let's talk about what's been your favorite game of this season.
For sure, it has been Germantown. You know, they were struggling a little bit the first few games of the playoffs, against Vicksburg. They barely came out of that game alive. They were focused on the West Point game, but this game, it was a close game. It was a fun game. They ended up winning 40-33, and so that was definitely one of the best games of the season.
Colin, we said the Chargers had some close games.
Yeah, and like you said, they had the national recognition early in the season, but the closest game, my favorite game, was the Madison Central game. 3 games in, a lot of yards. Abraham almost had 500 yards, 3 touchdowns that game. That's ridiculous. You don't see those type stats. And but unfortunately, they came up short, which was not expected, but it was the best thing that could have happened to that young team because they're back in the same position as they are last year.
And Breck, how can we not talk about the Crosstown Classic?
I don't know, man. Growing up in this area, it's always a big deal. And the Oxford-Lafayette game, Oxford's been on a streak now. Lafayette had that streak when Jeremy Liggins was there, and Oxford's kind of switched it back around. And I think that's what really got the game, what was the propeller for this season for Oxford.
And guys, this team, they have discovered a lot of adversity, and they've overcome a lot. Madison, what's been the biggest storyline that you think Oxford's had to overcome this season?
Early preseason, they had two suspended players with All-State running back Kinsey Phillips and wide receiver Kyrie White after, several burglary incidents. But, just when that talent was leaving, new talent came up for the Chargers. They got 2 great wide receivers with Ken Presley, who averages almost 70 yards per game, and wide receiver Jimmy Greaser, who averages about 65 yards per game. So that's been a huge help despite the small loss that they had before the season.
And Colin, every team has injuries in football, but one player on this team it really affected.
Definitely, and that was Bianco. His play is that when he fell and he was injured, that hurt the team tremendously, and they didn't know how they were going to respond after that. But fortunately, they got it back together, and they were able to continue moving forward on offense, and they're back, like I said, in the same position, playing for that gold trophy.
So, Breck, we talked about the injuries, suspended players. What's it going to take to get this title to Oxford?
They've gone through adversity. This is the 3rd year in a row they've gotten there. They can learn something from Chad Kelly's Uncle Jim. He got to 4 Super Bowls in a row, didn't win one. I think that after going through 2 in a row, you see what it's like. You're in your hometown. You're more comfortable, and I think that that's really what's going to put them over the top. And Jack Abraham's dad, when I talked to him, talked about how they had to get tougher as they went along, and I think they did that this year.
I agree completely. The Chargers have overcome a lot this season. And when we come back, our very own Kelsey Davis will tell us how practice went this week and what the team's mindset is. We'll be versus Wayne County. Stay tuned. Rebel Watch. We'll be right back.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
We gotta get back to the fundamentals. I got boys who can't tie their own shoes. Literally. Let me get this straight. We were 4 for 47 from the floor. Pizza party? Pizza party? What team were you watching? We were lucky to win. Most teams that turn it over 83 times don't pull it out. They all play like a bunch of first graders, and that's completely unacceptable because they're all in the 2nd grade. Oh, I'll be filing a complaint against the refs on that one. Kid's little sister runs out on the court and they stop a fast break. What are we doing? We get a trophy for what? Participation? If they cared as much about this game as they did them damn Hawaiian punches, we'd be world champions. Any more questions?
Who's got snacks next game?
That'd be Billy's mom.
Welcome back to RebelWatch. Our correspondent Kelsey Davis has more from Vaught Hemingway Stadium with everything you need to know about the matchup on Saturday.
Thanks, guys. I'm outside Vaught Hemingway Stadium where the Oxford High School Chargers will be taking on the Wayne County War Eagles this Saturday for the state championship. I got the chance to catch up with Coach Johnny Hill and a couple of the players to see how they feel about the upcoming game.
They play to win, and they love to compete, and they're going, when we turn the lights on Saturday night, they'll be ready. You know, I'm real excited about it, and if anybody deserves to win a state championship, this bunch does.
Head coach Johnny Hill and the rest of his staff have spent all week preparing his team for the biggest game of their season, and it seems that everyone involved is feeling pretty confident about their chances.
We've been practicing great all week, and I think we're actually ready to win it this year.
It's been 3 times since we done fought for this. The third time's usually the charm, so, hey, we're going to go out, play hard, do what we got to do.
Good. And this game holds a little extra special meaning for these players as they try to send Coach Hill out with one last win.
Been coaching for a long time with no state championship, so you just got to do it for him.
I mean, there's nothing better than send Coach Hill out on a win, state championship.
After a season of adversity, this Oxford High School team is ready to prove that they're the real deal.
You got to show them that we can do it. We can go out there and play how we played the whole season and not get there and fail.
I don't think anybody's outworked us. We've done everything we can do. And
now, Oxford High School has made it to the state championship the past 2 years, but have come up just a little bit short. So this really is the last chance for the Chargers. They're graduating a huge senior class, including 3 D1 commits, and as well, it is Coach Johnny Hill's last game as a head coach. Reporting for RebelWatch, I'm Kelsey Davis. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kelsey. Now, Wayne County has been a little bit of a Cinderella story. Nobody would have picked them to make it all the way to the title game after a sour 19-13 loss to Laurel at the end of the season. But in the South Regional title game, guys, they ended up beating Laurel 55-27 on the road. Madison, what's so impressive about this team?
Their triple threat offense. You know, they have their running back Jordan, who ran for over 1,000 yards this season. They have Cooley, who ran for over 700 yards, and their quarterback Stewart, who ran for about 325 yards this season. So that is huge for Wayne County.
Now, Colin, the Eagles, they got guys that are going to be playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of those players who you think could give Oxford trouble.
And we all know who that is. And he's coming off the line. He's coming off fast, and that's Benito Jones. And I hope he brings that intensity here at Ole Miss when he comes rolling in Oxford next year. But the Chargers, they're really going to have to put some guys on them and protect that side and keep Abraham safe because he's coming. He runs 4.8, and he's big.
Now, Breck, every team in 5A is good. What's it going to take to beat a hot team right now in Wayne County?
I think you got to distance yourself. You got to get out and jump out to a lead and stay ahead and keep pushing the game. Oxford's kind of let a few people creep back into the games this year, and I think like Colin said, you're really going to have to keep Jack Abraham upright. I mean, Benito Jones and that defensive line really is nasty, and I think for the Oxford to have a successful day, they're going to have to protect the quarterback.
I agree. I think Wayne County is a very, very good team, and the Chargers will need to bring their A game Saturday night. Now, one thing that makes this team's coaching staff unique is the fact that there's always a student intern football coach. Our workhorse, David Kennedy, has the story.
For the past 2 seasons, Oxford assistant offensive line coach Mike Healy has been part of the Chargers' pursuit of a state championship. As a former St. Pius High School football star and an Ole Miss hockey enforcer, he certainly has the background to develop into a good coach. What makes Healy unique is not only is he a full-time coach, but he is also a full-time student. What is his secret? Time management.
Very busy. Wake up in the morning, go to class all day, go to student teaching for about 3 hours, 3 days a week, and then go right to practice from about 2:45 every day. I'm gone till about 7 to 7:30 every night.
Time management isn't the only characteristic Coach Healy has that makes him a good young coach. Being personable and a vocal leader has made him respected within the program.
Well, it's interesting. He's a great young man and a great young coach, really. He does a great job motivating our kids, and I think the biggest thing in this profession is if you can work well with kids and get along with kids, you're going to have a bright future.
You know, Coach Hewitt came in last year, and he wasn't, you know, he wasn't near as vocal as he is this year, but he's, you know, really gotten comfortable with us, and he comes out and motivates us each day, and I love having him around. He's a good guy.
But things haven't always been easy for Coach Healy.
Yeah, after a few weeks of working there, you know, I looked kind of distressed one day, kind of stressed out and tired, and Coach Herring just kind of gave me some words of encouragement and said somebody that wanted to work a job for free that he loves will probably be pretty successful at it.
Healy plans to attend grad school at Ole Miss and continue coaching Oxford High School football with the dream of being a head coach one day. But for now, he is focused on getting Oxford High School their first ever state championship. For Rebel Watch, I'm Dave.
Now, Coach Healy will be graduated by the end of the season and hopes that the Chargers retain him. Now, when we come back, I will be interviewing a future Ole Miss student and Oxford wide receiver DK Metcalf. Rebel Watch, we'll be right back.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd. What are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. I'm Browning Stubbs. Today I have the number 5 wide receiver recruit in the country and Ole Miss commit, DK Metcalf, in studio. Thanks for coming in, DK.
Thank you for having me.
All right, DK, you guys have come so close to winning this state championship. 2 years ago, you lose by touchdown. Last year, you lose by 3 points. What did you learn in those games?
I learned that you can't come out and be flat on offense or defense or special teams. You got to come out hard. Can't wait for the opponent to attack, and then you react. You got to take the fight to them, and you know, you got to win special teams. I learned that last year because Laurel fumbled the opening kickoff, and then special teams kept dropping, you know, punts, and we just weren't clicking, and you know, just got to come out on fire.
Now, this season, you guys are off to a very great start, and you're about to finish, you know, in the state title game. But I want to ask you, what's been different about this season? And I'm sure there's got to be extra motivation with Coach Hill retiring.
Yes, sir. Coach Hill retiring is one thing. You know, been to the state championship twice, lost it. That's another one. You know, I'm a senior. We got 16 seniors graduating on offense, another 16 on defense. You know, we got a lot at stake, and plus it's right there in our backyard. So, you know, just to win it at Ole Miss is gonna be real fun, real nice.
And your father, Terrence, he's been such a great influence on you. Just talk about what it means for him to be a mentor to you.
Well, it's really cheating because, you know, my dad played in the NFL, and, you know, he knows what it takes to get there. And, you know, just very blessed that, you know, that he's my father, and he's been coaching, just not officially until last year, but he's been coaching since I started playing football, and I just love having him on the side.
Now, DK, the biggest question that a lot of fans have, what's the secret? Come on, between you and Jack Abraham, how are you guys so successful?
Well, when I first moved to Oxford in the 6th grade, Jack was the first person I met. We played basketball together, football together. We just always hung around each other. And started playing receiver in the 7th grade, and we've just been working together ever since.
Now, your new quarterback, Shea Patterson, he's been spotted at some of your games, and it's going to be exciting to see you two in the red and blue. How well do you know him so far?
Oh, me and Shea talk at least twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Every time he comes to Oxford, we're always hanging out with each other. So, me and Shea are building a good relationship. And he's just a great person, great quarterback, all around, good guy, and I just love him.
DK, is there anything that you'd like to say to Rebel Nation?
Howdy tighty.
DK Metcalf, I want to thank you so much for coming in the Rebel Watch studio, and good luck this Saturday night.
Thank you.
Now, coming up, what has been the secret of this senior class's success? Greg Jones will tell us how not only Jack, but how his dad has helped build this program.
I feel like last year, really, we didn't get what we should have. We didn't do what we should have. We didn't have what we needed. I feel like we started working for this moment November 1st. This year we're going to get ours. We have paybacks coming almost every weekend. Somebody that we played last year that we owe, right? And we're going to get ours by how we play all year long. No one's giving it to us, but we're going to get it. We're coming out, we're not leaving it up to anybody else. We're going to go out and do it ourselves by how we play, how we work, how we tackle. We are going to be tougher than the rest, and we're going to get ours. Let's go.
I had the chance to sit down with Jack Abraham and his father to talk a little bit about what it was like to grow up playing for his dad and the fond memories that they share.
He was always a duck in water out there. I mean, Jack was a natural. He could throw the ball. You could tell you didn't have to teach him much throwing the football. And then as far as knowledge of the game, I think he grasped that over time by getting the reps and getting exposure to the game.
Just learning at a young age helped me out so much as well. Just knowing that just the simple things, starting off with simple things and then building from there, and then knowing the simple fundamentals and all that stuff, it definitely helped me out for sure.
Coaching your kids is no fun. I mean, especially when your kid's the quarterback and then we're calling all the plays and he's the guy that's the center of attention. And so being the parent and being the coach and having the quarterback is not a lot of fun, so to speak, but he was good, so that helped.
I kind of enjoyed the role, knowing that people thought that he should automatically win the quarterback spot, but I just knew that, I always had people chasing after me, and there's always somebody out there that's going to try and work harder than me to take my spot.
Best moment, no doubt, is right over there at Bobby Holcomb Field on a Sunday night. We're playing Sardis in a 11, 12-year-old football game. He's in 6th grade at this point.
I probably have to say we were playing Sardis. It was about, I think it was my 5th grade year. So I was on the 11 and 12 team. We played on a Sunday night, one of the best people in the stands. And we were down by 7, and we had to drive, and we scored, and we went for 2 and won the game. And that was just a huge memory, and I always remember that.
Went out there in the second half and closed the gap, but with about 2 minutes to go, a very similar manner to the Germantown game this year. We went 80 yards. We're just going the other direction. And we went 80 yards down that field, and he hit somebody for a game-winning touchdown, and that was probably the best memory because he handled the moment.
All right, Breck, Talk about Mr. Abraham and just everything that he's done in developing, coaching the Buccaneers until where the program is now.
They started the Buccaneers as a way to get the kids really together, and they wanted them to grow up together where they could play together. They had seen some other communities and teams try the same thing, and they just wanted to try to build that team and try to build a strong high school program in Oxford that they thought that they could really develop here. And so far, it's worked. I mean, they've gotten to 3 straight state championships, and they're looking to get their title here. So I'd say it's working. They think it's going to continue that way.
He's done a great job indeed. Long before the Abrahams even moved to Oxford, head coach Johnny Hill was busy building a powerhouse in Oxford. With his retirement official this Sunday, RebelWatch will be releasing its first ever documentary, Go Johnny.
Football is a game that you're going to get knocked down, and you're going to make a mistake, whether you miss a tackle or you miss a read or you blow a coverage or miss a block. Those things are going to happen. So, but you can't cry over spilt milk. You got to get up and go again. Shoe to my regular cleats, and just somehow I got the picture.
Coach Hill really set the bar as a head coach, in my opinion, because a coach not only taught you how to play a game, he taught you how to be a better person, and he was really good at that. He was a role model, somebody you could look up to and go to if you needed anything.
I started playing football when I was 11. If my math right, that's 50 years of football I've been involved with. And that's every day, all my life, and I love the game of football, still love it, and still enjoy coaching, still enjoy that. But it's really time for me I've got a lot of grandkids. There's some things that I want to do that I can't do because as a coach and AD, you don't have time to do those things.
Go Johnny, a RebelWatch production, coming this January.
Now, Johnny Hill has been in Oxford since 1989. He's built practically the program from the ground up into a powerhouse in Mississippi. Madison, what do you think he's meant to this community?
He is a community leader. People look up to him. He's, like you said, he's been here since the 80s. People trust him. People definitely know him, and it's somebody that the whole entire community can look to for basically anything.
Colin, Johnny Hill, he's been known as a player's coach. I mean, how do you think his loss is going to impact the season, or impact the team in the future?
Oh, it's going to impact huge. Like you said, he's a player coach. He's a player coach to the T, and he's like a second dad to most of these kids. So a lot of times it's going to be hard to bounce back and losing such a great influence and father figure on the field, but hopefully the Chargers can find somebody to kind of fill in those shoes.
Now, Breck, you got all these college football coaching jobs open. I think high school one's going to open up as well with Johnny Hill leaving the Chargers in retirement. Tell me, who are some of the big candidates to replace him?
Most people think they're going to hire in-house. I mean, DK's dad, Terrence Metcalf, who was an All-American here, played in the NFL for a while. He just joined a year ago, but they think that he really might take over the program there. Chris Cutcliffe, who was the son of David Cutcliffe, obviously of Duke. He was at Ole Miss, and he's an offensive guru there on the team that's led them to have such great output this year.
Guys, it's going to be a big topic of discussion, but whoever ends up taking the job in January will certainly have some big shoes to fill. But we'll also have a great foundation to work with. When we come back, we will all give our keys to the game and our predictions for Saturday's 5A state title game. We'll be right back.
We gotta get back to the fundamentals. I got boys who can't tie their own shoes. Literally. Let me get this straight. We were 4 for 47 from the floor. Pizza party? Pizza party? What team were you watching? We were lucky to win. Most teams that turn it over 83 times don't pull it out. They all play like a bunch of first graders, and that's completely unacceptable because they're all in the second grade. Oh, I'll be filing a complaint against the refs on that one. kid's little sister runs out on the court and they stop a fast break. What are we doing? We get a trophy for what? Participation? If they cared as much about this game as they did them damn Hawaiian punches, we'd be world champions. Any more questions?
Who's got snacks next game?
That'd be Billy's mom.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Ready or not, here I come. You can't
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
First down. High snap. Kelly has to collect it. Makes a desperation heave into traffic. Treadwell off his hands and into the hands of Adebayo. A crazy curve and a touchdown for the Rebels. Oh my goodness. Kelly just threw it up.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. All right, guys, keys to the game. Madison, how are the Chargers going to win this game?
The secondary has to show up. They've been struggling these past few games. They're almost costing the Chargers the game for a lot of this. So they can't let down and make these little mistakes. They have to show up. They have to be there.
Colin?
And like what we've all been saying all night, they have to step up and face adversity. I mean, earlier in the playoffs, they faced Vicksburg and Germantown, which they struggled in. But I'm looking for the offense. I'm looking for the mini Chad and Laquan out there, DK and Abraham, to step up and put some points up on the board. So,
Breck?
I think the key is really going to be the offensive line. I think if the offensive line can keep Abraham upright, like we talked about earlier, then I think that the Chargers offense will have great success. And, I mean, they just got to block Benito Jones and those guys.
All right, guys, now it's time for our favorite part of Rebel Watch, making the picks. The question I have, does Oxford win its first ever state championship?
I am going to say yes. I'm going to go 28-21. Oxford is going to pull this game out and take it home.
I definitely feel like just being at home, that Oxford is going to be lively, and they're going to come out hot. And I agree with you, Madison, 28-21.
Same score.
Copycat.
It is what it is.
I've got them going to winning. I got Oxford winning 27-19. I think that Abraham will have a good game, 250 maybe, and I think DK will get him a few touchdowns too.
You know, I got to agree. I am on the board with you guys. I think Oxford's going to take this one 34-18. I think Jack Abraham, DK Metcalf, everyone's going to have a fantastic game. Send Johnny Hill off the right way. I mean, I bet you're going to see him on the players' shoulders, and it's going to be quite the scene at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. It's going to have a lot of fans there. I'm excited. Hopefully a lot of the fans come out, and it's going to be a great one. Yeah. Well, that wraps up Rebel Watch for this semester. We hope you guys enjoyed watching us. And Colin Cody, we're gonna miss Colin Cody, but he's graduating, and he's going to be the next superstar.
Well, I want to say thank y'all for having me on here first off, and y'all become like my second to none family that I couldn't ask for anybody else. And thanks for the nickname. I'm C Squared for a reason, and you gave me a chance on this show, so thank y'all.
All right, Rebel Watch. We will be back next semester. Good night.